the first case of its kind, the mother of a severely disabled boy from Cornwall is suing one of the county's theme parks for failing to provide adequate toilet facilities. Adam George, who's 11, is one of an estimated 250,000 people in the UK who require what are known as changing places toilets, which have extra equipment and space.
Well, his mother, Rachel, claims Flambard's theme park in Helston discriminated against her son by not making reasonable adjustments for him. But the company says the cost of the facilities could lead to job losses. Here's Johnny Rutherford.
3, 2, 1.
Adam George was born with a genetic condition that weakens his muscles, affects his voice and makes him a full-time wheelchair user. He also has autism, but it hasn't held him back.
I need the toilet. Mum, I really need the toilet again.
In order to use the toilet, Adam needs a hoist, changing table and more space than you'll find in a standard disabled toilet. Adam loves going to Flambard's theme park, but it doesn't have a toilet with changing facilities suitable for his needs. So when the family visit, they need to hire a mobile loo, which can cost hundreds of pounds. Adam's mother, Rachel, is part of Changing Places, a group aiming to increase access for an estimated 250,000 disabled people in the UK who need this kind of equipment and space to use the toilets safely.
I think a place like Flambard's, a theme park where they expect people to arrive in the morning, stay all day, eat, drink, stay late in the evening, remain for the fireworks show. I personally would expect it reasonable that I can use a toilet when I go there. So why shouldn't Adam? Why shouldn't all disabled people be able to have their toileting needs met with dignity and safety?
This is a fixed changing place. It's rather large and has a powerful hoist. I'm told it costs around £15,000 to fit it out. Under the Equality Act, all service providers have a duty to make reasonable adjustments for those with disabilities. So, question, is the requirement of a business to provide something of this scale reasonable? Flambard says it isn't and is defending the legal action brought by Rachel George.
Inclusivity obviously is important for us to make sure that everyone has access to our park and the rides. We have to bear in mind that there is an overall cost to putting in a full-on changing places unit, and we've been quoted for the building as well as the equipment in excess of £40,000. That would have an effect on jobs possibly. What we have done as a sort of interim stage is put in a mobile hoist, a changing bed.
Flambard's has disabled toilets and has made efforts to improve disabled facilities, but wheelchair user Steve Paget says more should be done.
In the UK economy, over £200 billion a year is spent by disabled people. So perhaps it is reasonable to expect a business the size of Flambard's, with the number of visitors, the diversity of people that they see, perhaps it is reasonable to expect them to have put a changing place in their business.
Well, Manesh Patel is the Policy and Campaigns Manager for the disability charity Scope, and it seems this case hinges on what is reasonable. What is a business like Flambard's reasonably expected to provide?
The Equality Act, which determines what's reasonable, says that companies have to make reasonable adjustments to ensure all people can access their services in the same way. Now it's up to the courts to decide that, but there are a number of factors such as size and turnover, and in this case we know that there are many people who would benefit from this service, and that big companies like Flambard's should be doing everything they can to ensure that they're accessible to disabled people and their families.
And what advice and help is there available for organisations? Because Flambard's, for instance, say they have now tried to adapt and adjust some of their toilet facilities to accommodate some of Adam's needs, but is there more help and advice available to support organisations like this so that they do make the right decisions?
It's good to see that Flambard's have been starting to make some adjustments. We know that companies often want to learn more about what they can be doing to make themselves more accessible. There is advice out there from local organisations. There's a Changing Places website to really help businesses on this journey. I think there is an investment up front, but actually there's a significant gain for businesses in terms of attracting more families with disabled children to use their facilities. So in the long term, this is about creating a service that all families and all customers can enjoy.
How do you feel that the disability discrimination laws are working? If this area is so grey, it's down to interpretation from individuals on what is reasonable. It would suggest that perhaps there needs to be a bit more of a clearer definition with the laws. What do you think?
It's really important the law is working for disabled people. I think this case is a real landmark case and sends a really strong message to businesses about what they need to be doing to accommodate disabled people and their families. And we'll be watching closely to see what happens to ensure that all businesses are making themselves accessible to families like Adam and other disabled children.
OK, Minesh Patel, thank you very much indeed for joining us.